I'm Dale Smith for Loony Politics, and the Prime Minister's plan for an independent Senate seems to have completely derailed. Thanks to the pandemic, the chamber has largely become a glorified rubber stamp, as it has only met 14 times since March, and pretty much entirely only to consider emergency legislation. In that, they've done no actual in-depth study on any of those pieces of legislation. The only witnesses they've heard from have been the ministers, and even some of the debate around it is very truncated. For example, in the C4, which just passed this week, the sponsor of the bill, who was an independent senator and not one of the three government senators in the chamber, spoke very briefly in support of the bill, but didn't explain any of the details for a massive reaching spending program costing billions of dollars. This would kind of seem to be a problem for the Senate, whose whole purpose is to examine legislation in greater depth than what happens in the House of Commons and to offer amendment. None of these processes have happened throughout the pandemic, primarily because it's under the rubric of we need to pass this stuff immediately, but it's really making the Senate's whole point, and in particularly the Prime Minister's supposed experiment in making it even more independent from government, seems to be a bit redundant at this point. There is the possibility that the Senate could actually study government legislation and have those bills introduced in the Senate to get the ball rolling, so that the Senate can study them first and then send it to the House of Commons, so that they are contributing to the process more proactively, and to ensure that enough of the items on the government's agenda get moving at a more rapid pace. This doesn't seem to be happening, particularly now that the Senate is suspended again until the end of October. And it seems to me that some questions are going to need to be asked, particularly by the government, about their whole great experiment in the Senate becoming more independent. For Loony Politics, I'm Dale Smith.